Hey, so it's Sarah. So today's video is a little bit different. So it's about what's it like to run a LulaRoe business with a chronic illness. So I have a unique perspective on that. So today I'm having a really bad migraine, which is why I have my ice pack on and why I'm laying down and making this video. So I wanted it to be as realistic as possible so you could understand that for me, running a business is a little bit different for the average person. I have an illness that is really disabling. So I have chronic migraines, and for a while the treatment was working really well. I was only having about 1 or 2 migraines a week, which was awesome. And I had a medicine that would usually stop them so they weren't too disabling. But now the treatment's no longer working very well, so I'm having usually about 3 to 6 migraines a week, and they're pretty disabling to the point where I'm in bed about 70 to 80% of the time, which is kind of hard when you're 26 years old and in the prime of your life, but it's okay. I'm making the best of it. And I'm really blessed because I have my sister, and she does a lot of the packing and shipping and a lot of the photography. When I feel a little bit better during the day, parts of the day that I feel the best, I do like the invoicing and like leads, and I'll like talk to people and set up pop-ups, and like Mary will help me with that. And sometimes like I don't feel awesome at the pop-ups, but I just bring my ice packs and we go, and I have help. My sister and my husband help me, and we make it work. But so part of having a chronic illness like that is I feel like I have either a flu or a strep throat pretty much all the time, because with migraines, it alters my ability to see. So I haven't been able to drive in over 3 months, so I have to have help. So it's kind of like the pencil analogy. So how I like to think of it is like one pencil, if it's just me, I'm gonna break. I can't do it alone. And just like anyone else, if you're running your business alone, a lot of people, if you don't have a disability of any kind, you can do a lot of it alone, but it's always good to have support. So whether you have your husband or maybe a neighbor, friend, that's always helpful. But for me, I have to have a support system because I just can't do everything alone. So I have like my husband and my sister help drive me, and I'm really excited because my mom and dad, they're onboarded and they're starting the business. So they live about 3 hours away, so they're going to be coming up twice a month, and we're going to be combining and doing pop-ups together. So they're going to be helping to drive me, which will be awesome. So together, we're going to be multiple pencils, so we are going to be unbreakable, and we're going to be really strong. But I have hope for the future, and we're going to see some new doctors to try some different treatments that hopefully will help, because I'm like always nauseated, so a lot of times I can't eat for hours just because I'm so nauseated, or I can only eat apple chips, that it will get better. And even if, let's say, I never get better, I have hope that I'll get better at knowing how to deal with it. And like, even if I have to go buy a cane, to get to my pop-ups, it's gonna be okay. Things are gonna work out. So my big thing is that whether you're gonna be a LulaRoe consultant or you have a big goal, whether you have a disability or not, or maybe you're a single mom, or maybe you are just something else going on in your life, you can do hard things. I believe in you. And I know what it's like to feel disabled and to feel like you can't do things. Because I feel like really sick most of the time. Like I'm chronic nausea, like my head hurts. Like it honestly feels like people are like someone's stabbing knives in my head, and I have like limited amount of pain pills, but I can only take a few. So most of the time I just kind of have to deal with it. So it's a very painful condition, and it's like this most days of the month, so I just have to rest. And then when I have my pop ups, I just get up and do the best that I can, and I have my help. But most of the time, like I said, I'm in bed, so I'll like do my work on my website, send some invoices, make posts. But most of the time, I don't feel well enough to get up and do things. So I have to save up my energy for my pop ups, or like, I'm a religious person, but my church is at 9 o'clock in the morning, which mornings are really, really rough for me. So I don't schedule things in the morning, so I just have to balance things out. So for me, I have started going to the 1 o'clock session of church instead of the 9 o'clock session. So for me, I schedule pop ups in the afternoon or evening. So you just kind of have to figure out what's best for your schedule. So maybe you have kids. So maybe I can do pop ups while they're at school, or I'm going to schedule my parties or work on my photos while they're in school. So I think just balancing everything out and making things work for you. So, the other part of having a chronic illness is just realizing that some things are out of your control. So, just like whether you have a chronic illness or whether you're just a normal person, but I mean, let's face it, no one's normal. Everyone, oh, okay, I keep covering up the camera. Everyone has some kind of challenge. Um, so, everyone has challenges. Finding ways to overcome them and ways to find positivity amidst the negativity, which I know can be extremely hard. So, I also have, in addition to having chronic migraines, which are very draining, because the pain can reach a 10 out of 10. So I'll be crying because it's so incredibly painful, and they give me really strong pain pills, but oftentimes they don't work, which sometimes I'll have to go to the urgent care to get help. I mean, I've only had to do it twice, but it's very, very difficult. Um, and a lot of people don't realize that it's more than a headache. So you have to just find a support group. So in your business, find people who are going to be positive. So whether that's friends or your husband or someone else in your relationships, find people around, surround yourself with people who are going to be positive, because you don't want to surround yourself with people who are going to be negative. So like for me with my illness, I needed people who were going to be positive and who are going to help me be positive about my situation, because the more positivity you have, the more you're going to be able to overcome it and see the good things, like, oh yeah, like today you got a lot of stuff done and you did all this stuff. Like, for example, sometimes I'll have what I like to call good days where I don't feel as bad, or like I won't have flares. Like, for example, convention a few months ago, I felt like awesome for 3 days, and like I walked around and I like wasn't in bed at all, and it was like I felt like normal. It was amazing, and that was like a miracle. And when I feel no pain at all, it's like a miracle, and I just cherish those days. Or for you in your business, like when you accomplish something really great, um, like spring off of that, be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna book more pop-ups and I'm gonna do this. Um, and same thing for me, like I have to be more flexible in my goals. Like, okay, yeah, maybe I can't do like as many in-home pop-ups as I wanted to this month. Like, okay, yeah, I didn't get 12 in-home pop-ups. That's okay, but I'm going to do more next month than I did this month. And I'm going to be proud of what I did, and my goals are going to be a little bit more elastic because I have to get better and get through this flare period and get treatments that are going to work more for me so that I can feel better and take care of myself. And so that's how it is with our lives. We have to take care of ourselves and our families. And I also have major depression, and I've struggled with that for 8 years, ever since I graduated from high school, and I didn't realize what it was at the time. And that also makes it hard. So not only do I have a neurological condition that affects me physically, but also mentally. And so that is makes it also hard, because sometimes it's hard to know, like, oh, is this a real feeling, or is this just depression saying that, oh, you're a bad person and you're not trying hard enough. So I think that's another reason why it's good to have surround yourself with friends and family who are supportive and who help you recognize the good in yourself. And so just I want you to know that you can do anything, and even if you have to do it a little bit slower, it's like the tortoise and the hare again. Um, that's okay, and make big goals, but be elastic with yourself. You don't need to compare yourself to someone else. Like, you can be with me. Like, if you're a little bit slower than someone else, that's okay. We don't have to win the race, just as long as we're working down the race. And I know for me, like, LulaRoe has been a huge blessing because, like, our medical bills this year have been, last 2 years since I got sick, started having all these health problems, have been through the roof. And LulaRoe has been a huge blessing to us in helping to pay those medical bills, and also just in finding a job that I can do. Because teaching right now is just not an option because I just can't stand up and can't do those hours. And I loved it, but this is just such a huge blessing, and I just love the flexibility and just having clothes that are comfortable. And it's kind of cute. Sometimes my husband will be like, "Are you sure you want to wear that?" If I have a I'm starting to go take a nap. It's like I've had a really bad migraine coming on. Like, this is a mild one right now. Still uncomfortable, but mild, but like a really bad one. And I'm like, yeah, it's LuLaRoe. It's comfortable. He's like, oh, that's right. It's comfortable. Okay. It's just really cute. But just what I want you to take from this is that in the LuLaRoe business, there's plenty of people to support you, but you can do anything, whether you choose to do LulaRoe or something else. But if you have an illness, whether physical or a mental illness, you can do anything. Just remember that you're worth it, and oops, you just need to believe in yourself and surround yourself with people who will be positive with you and help you realize that you're worth it. And um, just find little things to that are good about yourself and that you're trying and that you're doing your best. And hope you have a good day. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at lularosemccord@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye bye.